this computer. Okay, we are recording. We are live.
Right, so you finally got it sorted, do you? Hello, partner.
Hello.
Right, first things first. How are you? How's lockdown treating you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Busy. Got my 123 girls started their 8-week challenge today. So not today, Monday, but.
So you're busy, but how is lockdown treating you? You've been handling it all right?
Not too bad. I miss the gym. I miss seeing everyone.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad, yeah.
I'm on the old Zoom, so.
We're on the old Zooms. Yeah, I could tell. We should let people know we're filming this on our Wednesday afternoon about 4 o'clock.
Yep.
So I could tell when you dialed in that maybe Leanne wasn't like 100% bubbly self today. But I'm sure that I'll cheer you up. I'm sure 10 minutes with me will make it. Well, I've had daddy daycare all day today, which is amazing, which is like unbelievable, and the best thing ever. So I can't complain. I think I've got Farley's rusk in my hair. Apart from that, got my hat on so no one will see.
He's walking now, though, isn't he?
Say that again.
He's walking now, isn't he?
He's more like sprinting than he is walking. He doesn't do anything by halves. He's just seen his godfather down the park, bumped into him, and he's bumped into a few. He's got his first little girlfriend.
Oh, cute.
Esther. Esther is 3. Esther is a lovely little girl. Reminds me of my daughter when she was that age. So that's his first little girlfriend. And we see down the park Esther and Bella and Barkley with their mum, who are lovely little children. And the mum's an excellent mum, really engages with her children, never on her phone or nothing. She's really wants to sort of make sure the children are sort of taken care of. So that's been our day today.
Cool.
Anyway, so we're filming for Thoughtful Thursday, yeah?
Yes.
And you in your wisdom thought that somebody like me would be the right person to give some advice. How nervous are you about me talking about Thoughtful Thursday?
Oh.
Right, maybe I can surprise you.
You're probably the most. No, I didn't choose this. You chose this.
Sure. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm sure people don't want to listen to me and you gas about our day. So the only other thing I should say is that with regards to this, say, forum or group, one of the things that me and Leanne want to do is to do one of these, like a Zoom call with some people that were in the group. Why we want to do it? Because we're great believers in the power of kind of community and partnership. And we wonder if there are some people in the group that might want to chat to me and Leanne, talk about their training, talk about what's good, what's bad, and some of the strategies they're using to get through lockdown to feel a bit better. And of course, the aim of that would be that it helps some other people in the group. There might be some really simple things that people are doing that if everybody else was to do, maybe they'd feel better. So Leanne's going to ping a message up. And if you want to come on and chat about the gym, chat about your training, ask me anything you want, we'd love to do it. All right, me and Leanne, it almost be like a get your mind right, can't it? Just without Barney. So Thoughtful Thursday in week number 1. Today I want to talk a little bit about discouragement, gratitude, and goals. So that's going to be that's going to be the topic for the next 5 or 10 minutes. Anybody who's ever worked with me, whether it be say an athlete or say a client in the gym or any kind of member of staff, has probably heard this story and has probably been given this strategy. That the story about discouragement I first heard when I was in church when I was a kid. So that must be like 35 years ago. And we're going to post up a little link that sort of tells the story far better than I could do. But one thing that struck me, and we've talked about it, is that during the first lockdown, when the weather was good and it was pretty new and people were having Zoom barbecues and going to the beach and stuff, maybe there didn't seem to be the same level of gloom, despondency. When we had the second lockdown in November, it was very clear that that hit people really, really hard. Whether again that was the weather, the time of the year, whether it was that people thought we were past it, but definitely, we were very aware, talking to members and stuff, just noticed that this time it feels even worse. So people that I've spoken to, even people that are generally like really positive people, that are very upbeat, they've all seemed maybe despondent, really down, almost like they've run out of fight. And almost like they have this kind of, what's the point? I don't know if you spoke to many people like that. Yeah, people that kind of tend to think like, well,
I think this
Well,
lockdown in particular, it's like all the stopping and starting, just people are just really struggling, like you say, because the weather is not great. It's not like people want to be out and about as much because it's so cold and wet. I think people are
yeah,
really struggling with being stuck in a lot. So
yeah. Yeah, so I thought that what might be useful for the first Thursday was to talk a little bit about discouragement. So this is a story I heard when I was about, I think it must have been about 8 or 9 in church or something like that. And if anybody watching this is a church goer, this is a church type story, so I'm sure people have heard it before. So the story goes something like this. It says the devil was having a closing down sale. Okay, so he decided that he'd had enough kind of working where he was, and he was going to sell everything in his shop and move somewhere else, so perhaps he could do a bit more damage somewhere else. So he puts this big sign on the front of his shop and it says closing down sale, everything must go, everything half off. So this bloke's walking past and he sees the sign and he sees that everything's being sold at half price. So he thinks, oh, I'll go in and take a look at that. So he goes into the shop and he sees the devil and he says, you know, what's going on? You know, you're selling up, you're moving on, are you? The devil says, yeah, I've done my work here. You know, I want to move somewhere else and see what kind of, you know, havoc I can cause somewhere else. So the guy says, well, you know, what shall I buy? What's your best seller? And the devil says to him, discouragement, because when people are discouraged, all my weapons are far more powerful. Now, there's a very good video that you're going to post, which is from a TV series called Hard Knocks, American Hard Knockers, Hard Knocks, okay, which is an American football reality TV show, where the guy tells it. And I saw this about 10 years ago, and I thought, I remember that from when I was a kid. The kind of moral of the story is that once people become despondent and discouraged, then everything else seems to feel far worse. I think that lockdown 3 has probably pushed a lot of people that are normally very positive into maybe a more despondent and a more discouraged mindset. What tends to happen when they get to that place is there are a few simple things that people start to do that kind of walk them down an even worse path. And the first thing is how they talk to themselves. So people will tend to say things like, oh, this is going to be one of those days. Why does this always happen to me? You know, oh, this is going to be a terrible day. So what happens is they start to use this language, internal language, and then something called the reticular activating system starts to look for things to support that language and that belief. So if you've ever heard that, you know, you'll never see a yellow car, you'll never see a yellow car, you'll never see a yellow car, and then your reticular activating system is immediately on the lookout for yellow cars, and you see about 10 in the next hour or so. That's kind of how it works with discouragement and with self-talk, and with your reticular activating system. And very simply, what can happen is maybe like 10 little tiny things, like you run out of toothpaste, and then like maybe a bird craps on your windscreen. And these kind of very, very minor things that in 2 weeks you will never even think about, you'll never even remember them. What you do is you almost stack them on top of each other to kind of back up the belief that it's going to be a bad day. And of course, what it does is it pushes people a bit further down that path of being more despondent, being more discouraged, and it kind of leads to people just being far more unhappy. Now, some people might listen to that and think, I can relate to that. Yeah, that's me, I do that. In my experience, pretty much all top level athletes that I've ever worked with do that because they're perfectionists. And one thing that perfectionists have is like, the moment something goes wrong, they're not too good with it or too equipped with it. So they can go down that path quite quickly. So you would be amazed how many people do it. So what's the fix? So this is something really, really simple that I've done with hundreds of people over the last 20 odd years, since about 98 when I first started studying stuff like this. And it's called a gratitude and goals list. And this would be the exercise that I would really encourage the people in this group to do. So the gratitude list is very, very simple. You handwrite, not on your phone, doesn't have the same power. You handwrite 10 things that you're grateful for, okay? You don't write weather, car, because it doesn't really connect, you have no association. So for example, Leanne might handwrite on her gratitude list, I'm really grateful for my Zoom call with Simon today. He always makes me smile. He's such a positive force on me and he lightens up my day, right?
that's
You
number
might write,
10.
that's number 10. Or I might write, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to take my boy to the park and see him do prowler on the gate and then shout at Esther, right? That's a real life example. I might write that, I'm really grateful. And I'm going to write 10 things, and I'm going to put a lot of detail into them. I might write something like, I'm really grateful for the friendships I have with my old mate Greg, who used to play at Spurs with. He's the most honest, reliable, hard, working guy, and I'm really lucky to have a friendship with him. So you write these kind of 10 things out, all right? And as you go through this process, you do notice that maybe you start to feel a little bit better, and the toothpaste doesn't bother you as much, and maybe the discouragement level starts to kind of decrease a little bit. After you've done your 10 gratitude list, then you should do your 10 goals list. So again, anyone that's ever worked with me knows that I'm a huge OCD planner and a huge believer in kind of consciously setting goals and really working hard on those. But this is almost like a fast path to it. So what I encourage people to do is to write 10 goals for the day. Not build a website, not get an extension. These 10 goals are things that can create momentum and can give you a feeling of accomplishment. For example, goal number 1, drink 3 liters of water today. Right? Dead simple. Goal number 2, communicate with 3 friends today and leave them feeling better than when I called. Goal number 2. Goal number 3, eat 4 meals today. Goal number 4, don't eat any sugar today. All right. Goal number 5, read 1 page of a book that I know will make me feel better or educate me a little bit. Okay, so you get the gist. Goal number 6, when I go for my walk further today than I did yesterday. Goal number 7, when I do the wall sit challenge at home, break 2 minutes. Okay, so I encourage people to kind of have a gratitude list, which I think just helps to kind of center them a little bit, and then to have 10 tiny goals that they can work on during the day. I think what tends to happen is they then have go-to strategies. They have things they can move towards. They start to gain a bit of momentum, and they start to realize, some updates coming on my screen, and they start to realize, well, actually, I can do some good things today. So all of a sudden, the despondency and the discouragement shifts a little bit to kind of.
I can't hear you. Hang on a minute. Sorry, team, we lost a bit of audio there.
That makes us look like real professionals, doesn't it, on Zoom?
I know. The perks of working from home.
Perks of working from home. So hopefully, before we cut out, hopefully I was able to explain to people a little bit about the strategies of gratitude and the strategies of goal setting, and how I've encouraged them to do those daily. And I think they might have, an effect on how they feel. Now, they're obviously personal to people, those types of things, but I would really encourage people to post them in our page, okay? Because what tends to happen with something like our lockdown group is that people are a little bit nervous about posting stuff. And then all of a sudden somebody breaks the dam and posts this great list of gratitude and list of goals. People are really inspired by it, and everyone jumps on board. And that was one of the aims of this group, really, was that hopefully some people could inspire some other people, and they'd all help each other out. So that would be my request, is that people do the gratitude, do the goals, post them up on the page, and hopefully encourage other people to do the exercise.
Sounds good.
Now then, was that the type of thoughtful Thursday you had in mind?
Yeah, that's
me.
Oh,
I thought you was gonna say, no, you can't do that. You can't do that.
I do have to censor you sometimes.
Really? Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Get a bit excited. But on that note, we probably should say, for safety, that if anybody is really struggling and is needing some support, obviously you can communicate in the group that you need support, but we also have a huge number of members and professionals who we know personally that are amazing at their job in mental health, etc., and we will be more than happy to pass on any information to anyone that needs some real professional help. And there's no shame in that either.
No, I think you're spot on. I actually thought about this morning, and I thought to myself, I know we have to be a bit careful about recommending that people don't, because we don't really have relationships. But I thought to myself, there are some people that we have relationships with that, we're really trusting of. Almost wondered if it was worth getting some of those to either sort of talk on the forum, give some advice, professional advice, or if we could almost put some contact details up. I saw a friend of mine yesterday who now works as a therapist, saw her at the park, former client of mine, she said it was the busiest she'd ever been.
Yeah, same. Andy, my counselor, she says she's ridiculously busy as well.
Yeah, so I think, I think the type of strategies we're advising are things that we, hope can shift people forward, 5%. As we said on all of our podcasts, like if people are at that point where it's not quite, then they need real professional support and they should kick the doctor's door down until they get it, really.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Cool.
So did that answer that? You're happy with that, yeah?
That's perfect. So just to reiterate Thoughtful Thursday, if you guys want to create your gratitude list and your goals and put them together and share them in the group, that would be amazing. We'd love to hear what everybody is working towards and working with, and also, like we said, it will inspire other people in the group to write their list and to be feel a bit more positive during this difficult time.
Yeah, well said. See, you're getting like a TV presenter, you aren't you?
Well, I'm hoping Phil and Holly will be calling when lockdown's over.
I think we got a bit of work to do on the podcast first, don't we? We've got to glam the podcast up a little bit.
Maybe. Does this mean I get hair and makeup then?
Well, I want to get Evans on, and I want to get Evans on with some of his clients and talk about something.
You make or break this episode.
Yeah, well, that's the next level for the podcast, isn't it? Is we want to. The idea was we were always going to get members on to talk about their stories. So when we can get back to it, that's kind of the next phase for them. Cool. Anyway, what are you doing tonight? Watching Raiders of the Lost Ark or something? Yeah.
Am I doing what?
Watching Raiders of the Lost Ark.
No.
What are you doing tonight?
I've got a live Q&A for my 8-week challenges, just to talk about some questions and queries they've got, get them all on the right path.
Sounds pretty decent, that.
Wow, sometimes I know what I'm talking about.
I've got chicken and rice, porridge, bath, porridge for my boy, bath for the boy, head down, bed.
Yeah, you go to bed at like 7 p.m.
As soon as he goes to sleep, yeah, but what time would I do it my app?
I don't know, I just know Boris drops a bomb at 8 p.m. and you're in 40 winks while the rest of us are sorting the gym out because it's got to shut.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I haven't texted you that earlier, though, have I? Huh?
What, 4 a.m.? No, I haven't woken up at 4 a.m. for a while.
I've been working on that. And I didn't text you on your day off, did I?
Yes, you did twice. And then you said, don't answer that. It's your day off. It's too late.
And then you was all over your phone all day.
No such thing as a day off when you're changing lives, people.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's it. Right. On that note, then, I'm sure we're gassing on. People don't want to listen to me and you. Right. Nice to see you. And I dare say I'll catch up with you soon. And I hope everyone in the group is giving it their best and making the best of every day.
Cool. See you later.
See you later, dude.